Arsenal have an interesting run of games that could definitely test Mikel Arteta. Up first is the North London derby, and well, I guess nobody at all has predicted that this is going to be a
Make I pause and first. Frank Lebuev, Arsenal 1-0. Kimuri 1-0. Steve Nicole 2-1. Ian Dark 2-0. Craig Bowley 2-0. Nedu Monoa 3-1. Shaka Hislop 3-0. This is like 6 different analysts. Everybody saying Arsenal will take the day.
Best for Arsenal. Can anyone, you know what, Nato, let me come to you. Can you even find some sort of an argument for why Spurs could get something out of this?
Well, according to my prediction, probably not. But I think in the grand scheme of things, I think we're seeing a Spurs side who have shown flashes where they have looked good. But I think one of the issues that they've shown in recent weeks and months is just the fact that there's a lack of creativity. I think at times the defensive side of things is good, but you know, it was only a couple of weeks ago when we were watching them play at home against Chelsea and basically create nothing. And I think for as good as Chelsea say were in that game, we're not exactly looking at them thinking they're this defensive juggernaut and you can't create anything against them. So then when I think about, well, how are they going to play against Arsenal? It just seems like it's going to be a tough day for them because there's certain elements in terms of how Spurs want to play as well, whether it's going to be with the set pieces, with the speed and transition and so on. And I think Arsenal are ready to deal with that. Like a long throw into the box for Arsenal, obviously, unless it's against Sunderland, doesn't tend to bring that many troubles. You know, you could see like a cross into the box from a corner, again, not that many troubles. So I think they're going to be trying to match Arsenal at something which Arsenal are probably better at doing. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't see it going Spurs' way, but it's a derby day, so I guess you could say anything's possible.
I mean, I suppose if you wanted to put some sort of argument up, you would say they're away from. That would be a debate you could put forward, but I think it's been easier for them to play a more defensive game away from home because I think your supporters will accept that a little bit more. I think where they've struggled, and Nathan touched on it, is in some of the home games where you know your fan base isn't going to accept you just sitting camped in the edge of your box, and so they want Tottenham to get out and play a little bit, and they've struggled in a lot of games at doing that. They really have. So I think when they've gone away from home, it's been more of an acceptance that they have kept a good shape and been a bit more difficult to beat. Obviously, City early in the season they played pretty well and won away from home. But I think that's the argument you could put up. But I just see Arsenal breaking them down in the end.
Yeah, that's the only argument.
Yeah,
there's no pressure on them to go and win this game. The pressure's on Arsenal. They're sitting at the top of the table. They're at home. You know, everything is on them to take the game to Spurs, which Spurs will like, which is why they've done well away from home, because they have been organised and they have a good shape defensively. And at the end of the day, if you keep the opposition out, you just need that one chance, that one spark from somebody. And so that's what Spurs will be talking about. They'll be talking about the last thing we do is open up and play, we keep it solid, and then when we get an opportunity, we have to take advantage of it. That's the only way they win.
All right, well, that's just one of the big games in the Premier League coming up this weekend. But Saturday, Newcastle host Manchester City. And you've heard us bang on about how St. James's Park is quite the fortress. But if you look at the stats, it may not be quite the fortress as Don Hutchison or Shaka Hislop has been saying. At least this season, their only win at home has been to Spurs in the League Cup. They've lost to Liverpool, they've lost to Arsenal, and they've lost to Barcelona in the Champions League. And Nathan, we talked so much about that 12th man at St. James's Park, but
well, they cannot too about Man City versus Newcastle. The focus that I wanted to look at is just this Arsenal game. So, we'll end up there.